We are here in the Clydeside Distillery, and this is the like the factory of the whisky.
Et on se dirige vers la distillerie. Je voulais l'avoir tout seul.
Ah! Sightseeing. Glasgow sightseeing. Ah, the outfit of the guy. This is the side. History tour shop. This is the shop. This one is 1,450.
Vous voyez, tel que se présentait le port autrefois. Et
building, and late 19th century, about 1/5 of all ships in the world had been made in Glasgow from the Americas, and the good reason for that is you could your sailing time, you could reduce it by 2 to 3 weeks by coming from the Americas to Glasgow than if you went to London. Queen's Dock here, a lot of whisky came in overland from the Highlands and up the river from the Western Isles and the west coast of Scotland to be exported all around the world.
donc le
Site 10 years ago to build this single malt Scotch whisky distillery.
donc la famille.
And we've been producing spirit to put into oak casks for 5.5 years, which is young in Scotch whisky terms, but our family owners have been in whisky for generations.
Oui, c'est ce que je vous disais. Okay.
So, from the very beginning, we wanted a good quality spirit to put in good quality casks to produce a whisky that you could enjoy young, but you'll be the judge of that later. 59, and has now been redeveloped into what you've probably seen behind the hydro and it built into everything.
1900.
So, are we showing the videos?
Yeah.
Yes. So we're just going to show you now a short video that gives you a little sort of sight back into history.
Yeah. Scotch whisky chaque année. Et l'ancien port, voilà. Comment était la vie sur les ports. Bon, il explique qu'il est en train de travailler. Et il dit, est-ce que vous sentez les odeurs de tabac, de rhum, d'épices? Faites attention, vous mettez les pieds, hein, parce qu'il y a des choses qui traînent sur les docks. Voilà, c'est des syndicats un petit peu qui étaient déjà constitués à l'époque. Hein. Allez, oh, bouge tes fesses. Il y a 40 vaisseaux qui... Ils disent qu'il y a eu des drames sur le port. Hein. Whisky, etc. Et il est arrivé quelque chose à la Esmeralda. Et sur un des vaisseaux, il y a 50 barils du malt le plus fin. Et lui, il en a pris un petit peu. Hein. Ils disent aussi que quand ils allaient dans nos eaux qui étaient chargés, avaient le temps de maturer sur le bateau en fait. Vu le temps de la traversée. Il dit méfiez-vous parce que... Allez,
going up for you to see that. How did they manufacture this? The story begins. This is the history of making of the whiskey.
Et on a également petite vidéo sur la construction de la distillerie. Voilà comment elle a été. Et on voit donc là, ça leur laisse le temps pour préparer la dégustation. C'est important.
Distilleries.
It's hard to imagine every subdued quiet of teachers' tram shops appealing to our friends. James originally worked for a Glasgow shipping firm. Moving to London as an agent for whisky merchants, he went on to introduce the English to the Buchanan of the day. Happy market. Buchanan drove around London with an eye-catching hand-baked cabbage. He also hired wasn't all many. Buchanan's, Dewar's, Valentine's, back in the day, most whiskies were sold under the name. Wasn't like other whiskey brands. For a start, he went straight into the whiskey business rather than wasting his time with anything else. Yes, Mackie, who has been described at 1/3 eccentric, knew exactly what he wanted and invariably got it. So insistent was he on using only fine maturity, he was knighted. Arise, Sir Peter Geoffrey Mackie, first baronet. And so in life, he was also a headmaster. As the company's London office with the first illuminated sign. He also commissioned the world's first commercial for a drinks brand.
Je sais pas s'il en reste derrière. Allez-y.
Export by a huge margin.
Donc c'est la boisson la plus exportée, hein, le Scotch whisky.
£2 billion of Scotch left the shores of Scotland to go all around the world.
Des plus de 6 milliards en fait de devises à l'Écosse.
And historically, there is one country that has imported more Scotch whisky than any other country in the whole world. And do you know where that is?
Vous savez quel est le pays qui importe le plus de whisky? La France.
Yeah.
Quelque chose là.
The Americans, they spend more. They spend more money than the French. So come on.
Ils sont plus nombreux aussi.
Of the whisky that leaves the shores of Scotland, 90% of it is blended Scotch and 10%-ish is single malt Scotch whisky.
Ah oui, alors 90% du
Fruits is quite small. It's a bit like children. You know, if you've got kids, you've got one that's like studies hard, the other one's a total psychopath. Blended Scotch They take, just like they did with the blenders in Glasgow, started it all off and laid the foundations. They blend single malt Scotch whisky together, but the important thing is they add grain whisky.
Oui, donc ils fabriquaient autrefois, c'est vrai que la qualité, c'est un peu comme nos vins, hein, la qualité des blends n'était pas très bonne, et donc ça fait chuter un petit peu le commerce de whisky. Donc ils se tournent maintenant vers des choses qui sont un peu plus raffinées, de qualité. Hein.
It's smoother, sweeter and cheaper.
Ah, alors pour faire les qualités que l'on demande à un whisky, sweeter, ça veut dire doux, yes, pas très cher, and the other one cheaper,
Cheaper, so less
yeah,
expensive.
yes, cheaper, sweeter, and
Smooth.
smooth, ah oui, alors qu'il soit.
Wheat, maybe corn. But the important thing about blended Scotch, they're big brands, so Johnny Walker, France, Dewars, you know, the flavour range is quite small.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it's okay.
It's okay. And so did you say single malt's all about flavour?
Yes. Oui, que les single malt, c'est ceux qui ont le plus d'arômes, hein, et qui peuvent développer le plus d'arômes différents.
And the range of flavours is huge, from very fruity, light, kind of delicate pale whisky, right through to smoky, heated, seaweedy, you know, yeah. So from like Glenfiddich to Lefroy. The miracle, every single distillery makes whisky exactly the same and from 3 simple ingredients.
Américain? Non.
No, every distillery uses the same process.
Yeah. Oui. Effectivement, il y a toujours les 3 mêmes ingrédients. Hein. Quelles que soient les distilleries, pour faire du single malt, vous allez retrouver 3 ingrédients.
So, ingredient number 1, water. Glasgow in the 19th century was growing rapidly. There's not much fresh water around Glasgow, so they put a project in place to bring water from Loch Katrine, just north of Glasgow, straight to the heart of Glasgow.
Donc le premier ingrédient, c'est l'eau, bien sûr. Et au 19e siècle, eh bien, Glasgow s'était beaucoup agrandi et il n'avait plus assez d'eau potable. Et donc ils ont dû aller chercher cette eau un peu plus loin, donc en l'occurrence Loch Katrine.
Gravity brings water into Glasgow and it is still doing it. It's fairly second.
How many?
It was around 1860.
Yeah. Enfin bon, donc, au 19e siècle, effectivement, donc l'eau arrivait. Donc il a parlé de la reine Victoria qui avait peut-être intervenu. Victoria. Bon, c'est lors du règne de la reine Victoria.
Yeah. Now, ingredient number 2 is malted barley. And malted barley contains a unique set of starch and enzymes that are perfect for Scotch whisky.
Voilà, donc l'ingrédient numéro 2 c'est l'orge, et donc l'orge maltée. Pourquoi? Eh bien parce que c'est une graine particulière qui va développer les enzymes et voilà, toute cette transformation qui va permettre d'optimiser la fabrication du whisky.
It breaks down the cell walls of those starchy compounds so it can grow, but we stop it then by drying it over a fire.
Donc,
if you want smoky whiskey, smoky peated whiskey, you use peat.
Yes, peat.
You use this stuff, peat, on your fire, and the smoke from here it locks on. The phenols in the smoke lock on to those exposed starches, and they never let go anywhere in the process. Distilleries as well, they outsource the malting process.
Oui, donc désormais beaucoup de distilleries ne pratiquent plus cette étape du malting, c'est-à-dire de la germination. Le grain arrive ici